Welcome back. Time for 3 more games with the Feln Control deck. So let's just jump right in and hopefully do a little better than in the first half. I had a bit bad luck with the matchups. This is definitely too much top end, too little interaction and too much power, so clear redraw. This is a pretty perfect hand on the other hand though. We have early removal, things that ensure we hit our power drops, some extra card draw, answers for probably the first 2 units if our opponent is aggressive. Perfect. I think I'm gonna use this on Primal, since Primal is usually more important for our Champion of Cunning. And we're gonna play Aline's favor and save the Varus favor for a potential target. And then pass the turn. And next turn, if the opponent once again doesn't do anything relevant, we just Wisdom of the Elders. And it almost looks like that's what's going to happen. I'm just gonna keep playing Primal Influence for now, in case we draw into a Champion of Cunning. And I mean, the most we need is 2 Shadow Influence for anything else. So we have the second if we draw a Death Strike. Just gonna Wisdom of the Elders and let ourselves get hit in the face. Would be sweet to draw a second Varus favor to get rid of that thing. Unfortunately we don't. So I'm not gonna use it until I know I get a second to get rid of it. So we're just gonna pass again and draw some more cards. This is pretty unfortunate, but that's what can happen. At least the opponent doesn't do anything else, so we have time. We should find a unit or a second Varus favor to get there. So Primal Sigil and double Varus favor. We could also Lightning Strike and Bloodcaster, but I think these are a pretty good job here since our deck a bit doesn't have any targets for them yet. And Lightning Strike can kill stuff like a Champion of Chaos, Champion of Glory as well. Or a bigger Sword of Icaria from the Warcry of the first, which is not irrelevant. And next turn we can ultimate our Bloodcaster, since our most likely Rakano aggro opponent chose to play Control. Yep, there we go. Vanquish. Fair enough, that works. So he's definitely Rakano and not Armory, which is good to know. And probably a lot better for us, especially if he's going so slow in removal and card draw. And working on getting our Champion of Cunning going and enough power to drop a Vara if we draw her. So we should be pretty well set up for eventualities. 5th Shadow Influence, and probably just Lightning Storm here, so we can Death Strike if we have to, and just pass. So the plan here is to block. If he tries to trade, we just Death Strike it. Same if he silences, so now we block. If he Finest Hours, just Death Strike, and if he torches, that's alright. Even that is fine, because a 4-3 Sword of Icaria would otherwise be pretty annoying. And once again we are flooding out a bit, because we need our top end to shut down this game. Alright. I think we're gonna have to double kill this to avoid any further Warcry shenanigans and potential weapons. I mean, we could potentially see and like wait for him to slap a weapon on it, but then we give him like a free Warcry trigger and he might not have a weapon, and it's usually just good to not give the opponent unnecessary Warcry triggers. That's a pretty big deal with Aline's favor up actually, and might be enough to help us pull out of the situation we are in currently, because the opponent definitely has more resources than we do, and that was a really great top deck actually. Although not that much, because if he has another Finest Hour, we're just gonna lose it, because we definitely have to block to not lose our staff. Let's hope he doesn't have one. He might also have like a Torch and a Vanquish, for example. Or this. Yeah, we can't even block. That is unfortunate. I mean, we could block to preserve our staff for one turn, but don't think that's a good idea. Come on, let's give us something good. Vanquish off the top would be sweet. That's not too shabby, I guess. We're just gonna beat down the beatdown player and hope that's enough. If he doesn't have Righteous Fury, that might actually be enough. Oddly enough. So I think I'm gonna block just in case he has Righteous Fury. Since we also have a shot at finding a removal. There's the Fury. As expected. Okay, he still has enough, I think. 11, 22. Trip. That was a bit sad, but yeah, Rakano is probably not that great of a matchup, as I said. And yeah, to be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of Feln Control in the current environment. But it is one of the better decks in the game, and probably the best control deck, so it's definitely worth making a video about it for all you control aficionados out there. But as you can see from how the games are going, I do not think it is the best thing you can do with your time in your games on ladder. There's plenty of better options, to be honest. We are working towards Primal Influence again. Makes sense now that we have a second Shadow for Deathstrike and Bloodcaster. Usually want to get Primal first for Champion of Cunning. RNG again with Armory. We are not particularly lucky today. Since there's not many targets, we might as well just aggressively Permafrost that guy to prevent damage. There's the first weapon to bash our face in. This is not going our way today. Wonder when the format became so Feln Control hostile, like what's up with all these armories today? I mean, it's the same guy again, but still. I guess people are trying Armory because of Throne Warden, to see if there's a good new build that makes the deck more viable again. Which is very possible, because Throne Warden is actually a really great card for the deck. Gives us some more board presence, defense against creature decks, unit decks, to protect your weapons. Sets up a lot of armor for your weapon. Like Throne Warden into Starsteel Daisho is a pretty strong one to punch. Take a play, for example. Whoa, 5/5. Fortunately enough, we have ample removal for that, so is that gonna be another armor smith maybe? Nope. So I guess Permafrost being as good as any, plus prevents him from stashing back these guys, which is good. So yeah, keep in mind that if the opponent is Armory and has stash and stuff, if you have the choice between Permafrost and Annihilate, just Permafrost. Because why not? And power screw, that's not nice. At least we get some beats in and are protected from the weapon. The dreaded Starsteel die show that he searched for. Yuck. Time to draw 2 power to get our Harbinger in play. If we don't go Witch into Harbinger, we are pretty dead pretty quickly. That is depleted power, so we are dead. Since he just hits us for 14. Awesome. I mean, he might still just have a harsh roll to harsh roll our Witch and kill us. 1-4. Not too impressive. Then again, we'll definitely run into the worst possible matchups. Let's see if we can at least win that last one. 1 power, clear mulligan, clear redraw. This is a really good redraw though. Pretty awesome. 3 power with both colors fixed and a favor plus some early and mid game stuff is a great mix for a deck like this. Sweet. And we even got a target for Barrow's favor. Don't like giving him that 1 Warcry, but it's just too much of a loss to spend our only real removal on Oni Ronin when we have Barrow's favor in hand. Since he might just play like a Rakano Outlaw on turn 2 for example, or an Argenport Instigator, depending on what he plays, because we didn't know he's Rakano. And then we would need the Permafrost really bad, so we can't afford to. I so wish I had a Lightning Storm or another Varus favor right now. Guess we don't. So we're gonna roll with that to stop the Warcry train. Plus it's pretty unreliable to put it on this guy. At least we get to Steward into Witch to help stem the bleeding a bit. Some more blue influence. Unfortunately they both have quick draw, so if he has a Finest Hour or a Torch, our blocking will be pointless, but we have to block anyway to save some damage and trade for whatever trick he has, so maybe Witch can block more reliably next turn. Maybe he's out of ways to shut down a good block, so we can just Witch. It's a bit unfortunate having to Witch before this gets to 3-3, because now if he plays a Justice Influence, it still becomes a 3-3. And Finest Hour. Nope, another Torch. Preferably Wisdom of the... oh, I was about to say Wisdom of the Elders into something, but I guess that's even better. Good game, sir. That's where the game usually ends, with these cards in hand. I think I'm gonna rather Wisdom first to maybe draw into removal. Its favor. And I think I'm fine with not attacking, given that he's screwed. If he would be able to potentially slap a weapon on this, I would rather just wait a turn. This is really nice. Should have done it the other way around, so I get the 1 life. I was sloppy. And attack. And hope that the staff can stick around and pull us out of this. Right, staff. And he's far enough away from plate that we can attack, so... because he can't play the Oni Ronin to kill the staff yet. Nice. So yeah, this finally should mean we manage to turn the page against Rakano and at least win 1 out of 3 Rakano matchups. Probably gonna vanquish this, which is okay. Oh, he doesn't even have to vanquish. Then this game is so over. Good game, sir. Yeah, I mean, if the opponent's stuck on 2 too long, you're not gonna do powerful enough stuff. That's why I keep telling people to put enough power in their aggro decks, because if you're stuck on 2, you lose matchups you shouldn't. Because you cannot properly overpower the opponent. You don't put these 3, 4, 5 power cards in your aggro deck just in case you're flooded. You put them in there because you want to play them every time you draw them. Alright, that's it. 2-4. Not the most impressive result, but to some extent reflects the quality of the deck in the metagame right now. I mean, a 3-3 would have been more representable, but yeah, I think the deck is like okay to play right now, but it's not like the greatest choice you can make in terms of what deck to pick for ladder, but it is, in my opinion, still probably the best control deck in the game right now, if you don't count Big Combre as control. If you consider Big Combre typical control deck, I think that's the best control deck right now, probably, because it is really good in my opinion, does really well against most of the top decks, and also has enough power to just crush the lower tier decks. And yeah, it's just overall a really good deck, while this deck just lacks the card advantage potential to make up for all the 1-for-1 trading, and as we saw a lot of the time, just kind of ran out of gas in the mid to late game, or and also has the added bonus of weakness to relic weapons. To be fair, Big Combre is not much better against Armory either. Like, I think I'm like 0-5 or 0-6 in tracked games with Big Combre against Armory. The matchup feels almost unwinnable. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching again. As usual, if you found this interesting, helpful and or entertaining, please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on social media for future updates. I recently started adding a donation link under my videos in the description as well, for people that wanna support me and my content and help me grow, help me work towards a better microphone / headset, better webcam, stuff like that, to improve the production values of the content and also keep the content flowing. So check that out if you're interested in supporting me further outside of likes and subscriptions. And on social media, if you follow me there, I post 7-win draft decks there, how I'm currently doing on ladder, some decks that I'm trying sometimes, so you get some additional information on there and don't miss out on any videos either. Alright, thanks for watching, see you next time, bye.